waved off. Hold on. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good whenever it is you're tuning in. Welcome to Ticket Price, the only show with this many technical issues. Thank you all for tuning in. I am Jake, host and voice of the show. With me, as always, co-host extraordinaire, and the only man who can claim Flowers for Algernon is based on him. Tevis at Master Control. Tevis, how are you, sir?
Isn't that about the squirrel that rides a motorcycle?
What?
The book.
No.
No?
No.
What am I thinking of?
I don't know.
There's a motorcycle riding squirrel or a mouse. Maybe it's a mouse. It's Ralph S. Mouse.
It's what?
You never heard of Ralph S. Mouse?
No, Ralph Ass Mouse?
Ralph S. Mouse.
Oh, no.
You call yourself a writer.
Actually, I do need to apologize to you. This is by far the meanest Only Man joke I've ever done.
I know what Flowers for Algernon, I've heard of it.
Okay.
I've never read it.
So, and I bring it up because it may or may not be important. Or at least I think it may or may not be important to today's conversation. Flowers for Algernon was a story where the main character is
I get that one mixed up with Flowers in the Attic.
Sure.
You don't know what Flowers in the Attic is?
I might. I don't know.
Is it V.S. Andrews?
It might be. I don't know. I'm trying to talk about Flowers for Algernon. I'm trying to word it so we don't get canceled. The main character is heavily learning disabled. You follow me?
No. The look of defeat.
There's no other way to say it on air.
That makes me so happy.
Well, scientists create a pill that unlocks a human's ability to use more of their brain than normal. So they test it on the building's janitor, or whoever he is, our main character, which is also really effed up if you think about it. They're testing this medicine on a disabled person. Well, it turns him into a genius. This is also where, like, the Nutty Professor comes from. It's based on this idea. So this guy, he's now handsome because he can, like, clean up and, you know, style his hair and do whatever, buy nice suits. And he's incredibly smart, so he becomes one of the scientists because he's now smarter than they are. And there's a woman who works at the university that he's always pined for, and he's now in a position where he can act on those feelings, and she reciprocates, and they're dating, and, like, this miracle pill makes his dreams come true. But then he starts noticing his abilities degrading, and he starts looking into the pill more hands-on, and he realizes the effects are temporary, and that at its current state, he will for sure revert back to his old life, and or it might render him even worse off.
Oh, okay.
And it's been long enough. It might eventually lead to his death, like premature death. Like, it might kill him, but for sure he's going to revert back. So he spends the little bit of time he's got left trying to solve the code to stop that from happening. And he ultimately fails. So what he does is takes care of all the things he needs to take care of, so it's set up for him to be able to enact his plan while being how he used to be. And he leaves basically a suicide note. And it's, you know, I'm sorry, the pill doesn't work. At least not how we had hoped. And by the time you read this, I'm not the man you knew. I'm the man you used to know. And I can't remember how he words it, but basically he refuses to be around people that knew him when he was smart and handsome. So he abandons his friends, the woman he loves, so they don't have to deal with the repercussions of what they did to him. So he escapes to a different city where no one knew this happened, and they'll only know him how he, I guess you would say, truly is.
Yeah.
And he just goes off on his own, but still fully memories and fully aware of what life used to be. He tasted the Garden of Eden
That's tragic.
and then was ripped out of it,
That is very tragic.
and then chooses essentially isolation up to and including possibly a premature death from it. It's a heartbreaking tale. And the story is Flowers from Algernon. Algernon was the mouse they tested it on first before they tested it on this guy. And then it was through Algernon that he noticed the regression. And then I believe Algernon ends up dying, which leads him to think my time with this intelligence and ability and gift is not only limited, I think it's going to kill me.
So the mouse gets super smart and is able to ride a motorcycle?
No, maybe. They don't really dwell on the mouse that much. But they took a mentally handicapped mouse, and then it becomes their smartest mouse and can do the mazes and the cheese and everything.
Okay. So this makes me think of something. Talking about mice that have a disease.
Stuart Little.
I'm thinking of like squirrels.
Okay.
Do you think there's a squirrel out there that has a nut allergy?
No, because it would have died.
That would have been terrible.
I'm not saying that one was never born. I'm just saying it wouldn't live long. What was that old joke? Who said it? I'm not saying we should kill all the people with nut allergies. But if everyone allergic to peanuts did die, wouldn't that get rid of the allergy?
I mean,
no, so this is by far the meanest only man joke.
I like that it kind of pertains to the movie that we're discussing.
There's a very specific reason I thought of that. I haven't thought about Flowers for Algernon. I need to go back and reread it. It is horribly tragic.
I don't want to read that. It's heartbreaking.
There's a movie that came out in the 60s or 70s based on it. It's real bad.
I was going to say, it doesn't sound like it.
Actually, it does okay until he starts regressing, and then it gets real psychedelic.
Oh, really?
Like it gets really 60s and 70s, and not in a good way, and it sucks. But like, yeah, he can't. Like he goes on this whole thing in his letter about he's like, I don't. Even with how I'll be, I don't want to see the look of loss in your guys' eyes when you look at me.
Damn.
And he just dips, and he ends up reverting back, and then presumably passing away prematurely.
Okay.
And they were never able to crack that code. And then it becomes the Nutty Professor. Goo!
All right. Well, on a lighter note.
There is no lighter note. Episode 75, Tevis. We are looking at 2014's Lucy. Written by Luc Besson. Directed by Luc Besson. Red flag.
Luc Besson?
I don't know, Mr. Besson, but writer-director.
Writer-director.
You know what? I don't know if we talked about this in The Mummy. It had 3 writers and writer-director. And those red flags are...
They're there.
Yeah.
But it overcomes them, but in a different way.
It overcomes them, but not because of them.
No.
So we have another writer-director, and it makes me nervous. But no, I'm not familiar with Mr. Besson's work. I mean, I might be, but off the top of my head, I don't know.
Yeah. Did Fifth Element.
Okay.
The Professional. The Professional.
Never saw it, but...
And I think God, what else did he do? Hang on. I know he did something that was just complete trash. Oh, yes. Valerian in the city of A Thousand Planets.
Yeah, I feel like I remember seeing advertisements for that, and then everyone said it was bad.
I remember watching about 10 minutes of it.
Oh no.
And I was like, I'm out. I'm out.
10 minutes and you were done.
Yeah. No. Thank you.
Well, you know what? A couple of things this movie does have going for it. Starring Scarlett Johansson,
Absolutely.
who I like.
Me too.
And not just because she's in my top 5 celebrity crushes. I like Scarlett. I think she's a talented actress.
I do too.
And the legend, the icon, the Mount Rushmore, Morgan Freeman.
One of my top 10 celebrity crushes.
I don't know the words to express how terrific and important Morgan Freeman is.
Well, considering he played God in the Jim Carrey movie,
True.
that's right. There's all you need to know.
They were like, who's someone who fans would accept portraying God?
Exactly.
Morgan Freeman. Yeah, but like
Exactly.
I'm talking like Carl Weathers level of importance.
Oh,
Morgan Freeman's up there, is he not?
he's above that.
You think?
I think so, yeah.
I'd be curious. You know what? Now I'm just curious to do a deep dive on like Morgan Freeman's career, like when and how he started.
Well, we're not doing that for this show.
No.
But that would be good. That'd be interesting.
Yeah. Because he's been around forever.
Yeah.
He's also been old
And
forever.
he's always been like 50 years old.
He's always been mid 50s or older.
He's in there with the Robert Duvall and Gene Hackman.
Congratulations. It's a man. All right. Lucy made with an estimated $40 million.
Okay. I mean, I could see kind of.
And a worldwide gross of $469 million.
No.
The look on your face. What do you it's not a review or
No,
a
it's a
rating.
typo.
You can't argue it.
It's a typo.
No, this movie made $400 million.
No.
Almost 5.
No.
Are you looking it up?
No. Yes. No. No.
Yes.
No.
This movie made $469 and change million.
No. No. It was the 18th highest grossing movie of that year.
I don't even know what came out in 2014. I don't remember, but apparently Lucy did quite well.
Well, the first two, if you want to know, it's complete shit.
Okay.
Transformers: Age of Extinction was the top.
I've never seen a Transformers movie.
The Hobbit: Battle of the Five Armies.
Okay, that movie sucks.
The third one was Guardians of the Galaxy.
Sure, I get that one.
Maleficent.
Gross.
Hunger Games: Mockingjay Part 1.
Okay, yeah.
Days of Future Past.
Ooh, I like that one.
Captain America: Winter Soldier.
Oh, that's the best MCU movie.
Dawn of the Planet of the Apes.
Never seen them.
Amazing Spider-Man 2. And the top out of the top 10, this is the top 10. Interstellar was the number 10.
Interstellar.
I'm not smart enough to comprehend Interstellar.
Yes, you are. We'll break it down when we watch
I have
it.
to take a pill.
That's true. Relax, Algernon.
Gotta add that to my pill box.
You don't need any more pills. All right.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Was that year? Ugh.
One award win with an
Gross.
additional 12 nominations, but nothing huge or noteworthy.
$400 million.
Yes, it made $469 million, Tevis. I don't know what to tell you. All right, Tevis, what is your history with this movie as you just stare, mouth agape at the movie's gross?
I have no history with this movie. I knew Scarlett Johansson was in a movie called Lucy. I thought it was a John Wick clone with superhero.
That's what I thought, but just with her in a white T-shirt with a black bra.
Yeah, Joan Wick.
Jane Wick.
Jane Wick. That's all I had. And I watched it for the show. That's all I got.
So, forgot this movie existed. Honestly, 2014, I don't remember ever hearing about it. Like, never saw trailers. The first time I
Cognitively? Cognizantly?
that's it.
Constipatedly?
Every day.
I can't believe you didn't hear about this. This movie made $400 and some
Shut
million
up.
dollars.
Shut up. Was when it was on Netflix. It was on Netflix for a little bit.
Yeah.
And I thought it was a Netflix movie.
Honestly, I don't remember if I thought it was that or not. I just knew it was a thing. I didn't know. I'm kind of like you. I never did realize it was even in the theater.
Yeah, it is. Or was.
Yeah.
And made $400 million. Almost $500 million. All right. So no, I have no history for this movie until watching it for the show. But like you, going off of like the images from the movie and the movie's description, I was expecting some sort of John Wick, maybe even like Universal Soldier kind of.
Yes.
Just like, yep, we're gonna get an action movie with Scarlett Johansson in a white t-shirt.
Okay.
Are you ready to start?
Let's do this.
Terrible CGI ape man.
What in the fuck is that thing?
It's early man.
That it looks atrocious.
But they also got the face wrong.
Yes.
Like from a fossil evidence perspective, the face is wrong.
Well, even in the CGI moment
Perspective.
it looks like some kid drew a face on a paper plate and then attached it with some string. It looks so flat and
kind of
ridiculous.
This isn't a jab necessarily at the movie I'm referencing, but it looks like the same CGI quality from like the Polar Express, where everyone is just flat plastic.
Kind of, yeah. It's when I saw it, I was like, "What in the hell is drinking from this creek?"
Kill it with fire.
Exactly.
No, it's early man, but like, so pretty much from every lens you can look at this ape man from, it's wrong.
Yeah.
From its CGI, from its fossil record accuracy, from pretty much everything.
Just enjoyment. Yeah.
And it's drinking from a creek. And then we go to modern day.
Yep.
Where we meet Lucy and her friend Richard. He seems like a scumbag.
Yeah, I was so nervous. The actor that plays him, I've only seen him in one other thing, and it was one of the seasons of Game of Thrones.
Okay.
I don't remember the character, but even then, I was like, I don't like this guy. Like, as an actor wise, like, there's something off about it. So I was really concerned that we were going to spend a lot of time with this guy.
Right.
But no, thankfully he dies.
Spoilers.
Super quick.
So he's trying to get Lucy to go in this building to do a weird briefcase drop off for $1,000. Paperwork or something. He's being really aggressive and pushy. She really should have just dipped. But then when she does finally try to dip, it gave Richard enough time to handcuff the case to her.
Yeah, what a nice guy.
Yeah. So she goes in because she has no choice to drop the case off. Then there's gunshots and Richard's dead. Then some very scary Koreans come down and take Lucy upstairs.
Okay. So the movie does this weird thing here where it cuts in video of like the mouse going into towards the trap with the cheese, and then it goes to
cheetahs hunting a baby gazelle.
It kind of pissed me off.
It's very art school.
It's very I'm sorry, we don't think you're smart enough to know what's going on here, but this is a trap that's happening. Oh, our character now is scared because these guys are stalking her, kind of like the cheetah does the gazelle.
And not just a gazelle, a baby gazelle.
Fuck you, Luc Besson.
So right out of the gate, we're at "fuck you, Luke Besson."
Yeah, it pissed me off so much. I'm like, do you really think that we're this stupid?
Yes.
You have to ham-fisted fucking shove it in our face. Be like,
Yeah.
look what I'm trying to do. Look what I'm trying to do. Look what I'm trying to do. Shut up.
Well, don't worry. There's a more egregious one later.
But they don't do it hardly at all throughout the rest of the movie.
No, but there's at least one more that's more egregious than this one.
Okay, I'm anxious.
You don't know what I'm talking
I kind of shut my brain off.
All right. Good start. We're at this movie made me shut my brain off and fuck you, Luc Besson, the
Yes.
writer-director.
Absolutely.
Okay. So Lucy is taken upstairs where we learn that she is, against her will, going to become a drug mule.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm already to the point of fuck you, fuck this movie. I kind of want to turn it off.
Nothing's happened yet.
It just that whole part with the cutting of the animals into it just irritated the fuck out of me. But then we get this interesting back and forth with her trying to talk to the, I'm assuming, Yakuza.
No, they're Korean.
Well, okay, that's true. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
You're racist. Do they all look the same, Tevis? Would you say those people all look the same?
I thought this guy was also Zolar from Captain America Winter Soldier.
Glasses, man.
That's all he did. He took off his glasses, and I'm like, oh, never mind. I'm sorry, you're Korean.
Dr. Zola.
But the mob boss guy,
yeah,
I kind of got interested in this little back and forth that they had, and then with the case, open the case, and this drew me in. This drew me back in.
This was cool. This was tense and it flowed well.
Yes.
Open the case. It might be a, blah, blah, blah. This sequence was cool.
And then they offer her a job,
which she refuses.
And then she gets knocked out.
So they knock her out. Yeah. And I have in my notes, did they steal her kidneys? Because she wakes up with her midsection wrapped in bloody bandages. And I just went, organ thieves. But no, they didn't take something out. They put something in.
So when they punch her and knock her out, this is when that 1% flashes on the screen.
Right.
And then it cuts to Morgan Freeman giving a lecture.
Right.
Talking about how we don't use more than 10% of our brain and blah, 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 blah. Bullshit.
Yeah. Haven't they debunked that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, they have.
Anywho.
And what's he say? Dolphins use more of their brain
cerebral
than
cortex,
do.
I believe. Yeah. Which is what gives them the ability for their sonar.
Yeah. So then that's when we cut back and we find out Lucy is going to be a drug mule.
Right.
Okay.
So Lucy is she's going to be a drug mule. She gets she's like being held in a borderline prison cell, and one of the creeps watching her gets real handsy with her breasts.
Yeah.
And she like slaps him away. So he punches her and then kicks the shit out of her.
Yes.
But when he kicks her, it breaks open the bag of drugs, which we learn is a synthetic. It's a synthetic version of a type of hormone or something that pregnant women develop very small microdoses of naturally during a stage in pregnancy to give the fetus to help give it a jump start. In its development.
I can't remember.
At least according to this movie, that's what it does.
I think that's a real thing.
I think it is, but I feel hesitant to trust the scientific accuracy of anything presented in this movie.
No, I agree, but I thought I wrote it down, but because I went online and looked, and I think CPH4 is what it's called.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm not going to get into the science of it. It doesn't matter.
So Lucy then begins to inadvertently absorb all this packet of drug, right? Whatever, CPH4. And she begins to have a Nightmare on Elm Street moment. Is that how you described it?
I put in bag breaks open, turns into Freddy Krueger killing Tina moment.
I thought it was Johnny Depp who went up the wall.
No, Johnny Depp went into the bed and turned into
the blood fountain.
The blood fountain.
That's right.
Yeah, Tina was crawling up the wall.
Yeah. Now, while this happens, we cut back to Morgan Freeman's lecture, where he proceeds to lay out the entire plot and action of this movie. Everything we can come to expect.
Oh, yeah.
Is that why you're laughing? I don't know why you're laughing.
No, the moment, one of the moments when she's flying, like she's flying.
Yeah.
The only thing holding her down is
the chain.
Is the chain. And I remember watching this going, huh? Like, so this gives her the ability to be Superman?
Superman wishes.
Yeah. So anyway, but yeah, then we cut to more not cleverly disguised exposition.
No. And it also tells us, if you were to watch up to this part of the movie, you could turn it off and know exactly what's going to happen. As he explains, Morgan Freeman's character explains, if humans were able to, say, use 15% of their cerebrum instead of just 10, then they would eventually gain full mastery over themselves. So much as maybe even being able to change their physical makeup. If that were to go to 20%, they would gain control over others. Well, Professor, Doctor, what would happen if they gain, more than that? Well, I have no idea, but presumably if we follow this theory, they would gain full control over matter itself. He also goes on to explain that cells, from their most basic form, have two goals: immortality, or, if that is not possible, reproduction. Then we get a slideshow of more animals, but now they're humping.
I forgot about this.
And this is now the second movie we've watched that has felt the need to have prolonged animal humping on screen. Then, of course, the slideshow ending with two teens in the back of a car, and the girl or woman or whoever in the back of this car is she's acting really hard.
Sure.
What do you mean, sure? She has much exuberance for the role she has been given.
Yeah.
She has an erection. No.
No. Ugh. God, I totally forgot about the humping, and I wish I would have forgot about the humping.
Rhinos, lions.
Wish you wouldn't have brought up
something else. I had to bring up the humping.
It's so stupid.
So Lucy very rapidly, thanks to the drug, gains control over herself, essentially giving her Superman-like a bit super speed, super strength. She can literally change not just her hair color, but its length. She can change her hand into, other things. She can change her skin tone, eye color. She's Mystique.
Okay.
Is that an inaccurate way to put it?
No, that's a very accurate way to put it. So she gets out of her cell.
Yeah. She kills the shit out of that guy.
Yes. And honestly, when she breaks out of this and she pulls her belt off and she throws it and she whips it around that table and she pulls the table closer and grabs the gun, I was like, oh, okay. So we're starting to get this super John Wick with superpowers.
Yeah.
Jane Wick with superpowers. I'm like, okay, this could be really cool. This is going to be fun. I figured she's going to go after the guy, the main bad. But then she goes out into the street where she asks these two taxi drivers. She asks one.
Who have nothing to do with anything. They are not a part of this.
No. Do you speak English? And he's like, what? No, whatever. And she shoots him in the fucking leg.
Yeah. Then she's like, "Did you speak English?" And the other one's like, "Yes, I do."
Yeah, take me to the hospital.
Because while she was killing all the guards, she took a bullet to the shoulder.
Yes. But then pulls the bullet out.
Oh, that's right. She did pull the bullet out. But she also, so she needs to get her shoulder fixed and to get the drug bag out of her abdomen.
Okay, so she does something I kind of enjoyed for a brief moment. At the beginning of the film, she kind of plays this normal college girl.
See, okay,
And
go
the only
on.
reason I say college girl is because says she has classes she's got to study.
Well, and we
for.
even meet her roommate later.
Yeah, but then you can see when the drugs start to take over, she's turning into more of a. She has a more calculated look on her face, like she's absorbing everything.
And then it evolves into a more distant look where it's like she's unable to emotionally connect or resonate with anything.
Yeah.
Almost like a robot.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. Scarlett Johansson is a good actress.
Yeah, I like this a lot.
Yeah. You know, it doesn't work though. Lucy is supposed to be a college girl.
Yeah.
Scarlett Johansson is 30 when at the making of this movie. She's like 29, 30, 31, somewhere in that
Hey,
gap.
I went to college when I was in my 30s.
So did I, but I didn't have a 19-year-old roommate.
I know. But yeah, no, that doesn't
Although
work.
I did have to file a bunch of paperwork to get exempted from the mandatory like first year on campus stay.
Oh yeah, because
And they were like, "Well, really? Well, you know, we have such accommodating rooms." Da da da. I said, "Look, I'm 30. My wife, daughter, and mortgage will probably not do well in a dorm." And they went, "Oh dear. Well, let's get you this paperwork, fill this out, then turn it in here and talk to this person. They'll give you some more." I had to jump through so many hoops
I didn't have to do
to
any of
state
it.
that I'm a grown ass man.
You just couldn't be like, here is license. Here is birth certificate.
Yeah. Here is family. Here is daughter.
Here is
Fucking
my
more
30-year-old face.
fucking morons. Anywho, but no, so that did take me out. Like, I love Scarlett Johansson, but this was not a role she should have done.
She could have done, they just should have changed it to where she's
That's my point. Either
not a college
this
kid.
shouldn't have been her, or they should have revamped the script so 30-year-old Scarlett Johansson isn't playing a 20-year-old
Yeah.
or a 21-year-old or whatever it is.
So she gets to the hospital and then she calls her mom. And then we have more exposition.
This scene sucks.
It's terrible.
So she realizes, because she's so intelligent, she realizes something's wrong and she may not get another chance. So while they're performing surgery on her, she calls her mom.
Yeah. And okay, before we get to that, she does another thing.
Oh my God, I forgot about this.
She fucking walks into this operating room.
So she goes to the hospital, walks into a walks into an OR that's where a team is actively performing surgery. And they're like, "Who? Get the hell out of here!"
Yeah, but she looks at the board.
She's looking at the X-ray board
and figures out something, and then just goes up to the guy on the table or girl on the table.
They're trying
fucking
to
shoots it.
I think they're doing it some sort of tumor operation, like a tumor removal. But from the X-rays, she's able to see more than they can, and knows that the tumor is in too deep, and this person is not going to survive the operation. Well, she needs the surgical team. So she just shoots the patient.
Yeah. And then it's like, oh, sorry, yeah, you wouldn't have been able to save him anyway.
And then we're supposed to be okay with this because he was going to die anyway, or he or she, whatever. What the fuck?
Yeah, and then she tells him to operate on her.
Yeah.
Well, okay, we'll get the anesthetic. I don't need anesthetic. And then they start to operate on Lucy with the same gloves and masks and equipment that they just got done operating on.
Yeah.
The other. Okay. That's what we're doing. Okay.
Okay. Someone just came in waving a gun and killed your patient. You know what? Let's just get this person in and out as quick as we can. I think that's where we're at.
Yeah.
Much like I wanted to get in and out of this movie as quick as I could.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't say that.
Oh yeah. Save that for final thoughts.
So but no, she just murders an innocent person on an operating table. What the hell? But then, so now she's being operated on, and she makes a phone call to her mom. I hated this. I hated everything about this. I hated the way it was filmed. I hated the writing. I hated the acting. And I think the acting is less Scarlett Johansson's fault, more the director's fault, Luc Besson. Fuck you, Luc Besson.
Yeah.
I hated all of this.
I hated the line where she says something about I remember how your milk tasted.
Yeah.
Like, like no.
So she's basically unlocked every memory she's ever had. She's telling her mom, I remember a cat. She's like, honey, what cat? Siamese, blue eyes, broken tail. Honey, you were like a year old. You can't remember that cat. Except the fact that she clearly remembers this fucking cat, mom.
Yeah.
And then she's like, I want to thank you for the thousands of kisses and hugs. And that I liked. But it goes too far. And I remember the taste of your milk, and I remember the warmth of the woo. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? I don't like this. I don't like this.
Yeah.
And then she gives like a very clear, like suicide-esque, I just wanted to call to let you know I love you and thank you for everything. That is something someone tells you before they end themselves.
Absolutely.
But it hangs up, and we never hear from mom and dad again.
Ever. Not one hint.
Nope. So they get the bag out, they stitch her up, she leaves. She takes the drugs and leaves. Duh.
And yeah, then she goes back to her apartment and she researches Morgan Freeman's character.
Wait, has she attacked the goons yet? Because she goes back to.
Oh, that's right.
So before she goes to where her and her roommate are staying, she goes back to the hotel.
That's right.
Kills all the gangsters, and then while the mob boss is like getting a tattoo, but he's also getting like a facial, like he's got relaxing headphones on. He's got the cucumber wedges slices over his eyes, the hot towel thing. And then she stabs his hands into the chair he's on and asks like, where are the other mules going? He doesn't understand her, so she reads his mind because she can read minds. I hated this mind reading scene. Hated it.
Oh, it was
because it doesn't make any fucking sense. She reads his mind, which then it goes back to the scene where the drug mules are all being given their tickets home, to where the camera then panorama style circles the room and is looking in people's pockets and at the plane tickets in their hands, and is like, as if she just has this omnipotence.
There's one moment where one of the mules has the plane ticket in his back pocket, but she's reading. So, and then the camera turns around and it looks at the guy's ass with the plane ticket in the back pocket.
Yeah.
And in my mind, I'm looking at it going, okay, so she's reading the mind of this mob boss. Why was the mob boss checking out this guy's ass?
See, at this point, I was so detached, I didn't see it that way, because I'm sitting here going, she is looking in a memory of his from the room in a way that doesn't make sense. He did not see the thing she's looking at. He did not have these perspectives in his vision. She, in theory, should only be able to see what he could see.
Yes. That's why I was like, well, why is he checking out this guy's ass?
It would have made more sense for her to just dive into her own memory of the event with her newfound power.
I agree.
And then do this panoramic garbage.
Then you wouldn't have had the...
But doing it from someone else's perspective doesn't make sense. They don't have your abilities, bitch. That's not how this would work. Or if she just read his mind from when the tickets got approved of and paid for. Okay, yeah. No, she's panoraming the room, which he would not have any ability to do or see things in the way. He's seeing shit that's going on behind him.
That's ridiculous.
What was this?
This was dumb, is what this was.
Doesn't kill him, though. Then goes to her roommates, can read her mind.
Yeah, she hugs her at one point and
Yeah.
tells her you have to go get this looked at or something looked at.
Hands her a printout, and she's like, I can't read Korean. I don't know what this says. She's like, it's a prescription. Go to the hospital. Your kidneys aren't functioning right, and your liver is failing. But like, go easy on the drinking and partying, healthy appetite, exercise, take some medicine. You'll be fine. Because she can see and or feel that her friend's body isn't working right. That I'm okay with.
Yeah, I enjoyed that.
And then she like power reads all of Morgan Freeman's character's research. And that was kind of cool too.
Yeah, but the only thing I kept thinking was you have way too many windows open on that computer.
My only thought was I've never owned a computer, even computers specially made for gaming, that operate this fast.
Exactly.
Oh my God. What is she using and what is her internet connection?
Yeah, I can understand that she can power read all this stuff, but that computer can't pull up that shit as quick as it.
Right.
It would still take her days.
If she was just sitting in a library with all the books open in front of her.
Yeah.
And she's just flipping pages.
That would have been better.
But like at this point, she is so beyond that this technology would actually be hampering her. It would be a hindrance.
I agree.
Because the computer cannot move that quickly. But she reads all this research, then calls Morgan Freeman's character and explains what has happened and what she is experiencing. And was like, we need to meet. And he's like, okay. And she shows him enough of her power that he's like, oh my God, this is legitimate.
Okay, I got confused.
Okay.
She gets on a plane.
Yes.
And she's got, the two
Dueling
laptops up.
So now she doesn't just have one super laptop, she has two super laptops.
But then she has this Marvel blip moment where she's disintegrating.
Yes.
And then she wakes up in a hospital bed?
Yes.
What the hell?
Okay. So, Morgan Freeman's exposition dump explains that cells will try to do one of two things: achieve immortality or reproduce, right? She needed more of the drug. Because she didn't have enough of it, her body was literally breaking down to the point that the cells couldn't survive. But the cells were so advanced due to whatever was going on, they were actively breaking away and leaving her to obtain subsistence on their own, because the parts would be able to survive where the whole was no longer able to.
Okay.
So what we saw was her disintegrating due to her very own cells separating and escaping the whole.
Kind of like how I wanted to leave this movie.
Yes.
Okay.
In pieces or in whole, whatever got there quicker. Think of it kind of like The Thing. A single cell would survive on its own and reproduce when the environment was right. It's a lot like that.
So I kind of understood that, like, because she keeps trying to ingest more of the drug.
Right. She ends up ingesting as much of the drug from the bag that was in her as she can.
Yeah.
So her cells will reproduce and not seek immortality by separating.
It cut so abruptly to her disintegrating and then ending up in the hospital bed. I felt like I missed something.
Yeah.
It confused me. Like was this part of the movie that got cut out, that the streaming service that I'm watching it on just cut it out for, or did I doze off? Like it was very poor choice.
Yeah. It's a little jarring.
Yes.
But she wakes up in the hospital bed, but obviously she escapes because obviously. Um, let's see.
Is this when we meet Del Rio?
Yes. So she had reached out and contacted a French, almost like Interpol agent, somebody who can track down or has the ties to get the information out to track down all the mules and arrest them because she needs their packet of drugs.
Yes.
So she meets up with him. They get in his car. We get a it's not a car chase, but it's basically a car chase.
It's, you know what? When I watched this, I kept thinking this was just put in here because the movie is missing an action scene
It was slowing down.
and they needed a reason to just pump up the adrenaline.
Yeah.
And it felt like that
Unnecessary.
very much.
See, it didn't get my adrenaline pumping. It
No,
got me
mine
scratching
either.
my head going, why are we doing this?
Yeah. So these cars are just going down the road and minding their own business and they're getting flipped over and
People are dying.
like, this is dumb.
Yeah.
I didn't understand the need for it.
So the agents are able, so when she's in the hospital from the airplane disintegration, the cops arrest the other mules and they take them to the same hospital to get the drug packets removed. That's when the gang attacks. Lucy saves Del Rio, wipes out the gang
Very,
boringly.
that is, yeah.
She has unlimited power. She doesn't kill anyone. She just makes them levitate so that they can't strike her
Yeah, that was,
instead of like disintegrating them
it's,
or making someone kill the others or doing literally anything at all.
and she just keeps walking down the hallway towards the next one. And
Yep. Now all the other mules are dead. She gets the drug packets, and then her and Del Rio do a stupid, unnecessary car sequence and have a weird kiss.
they did, I don't remember that, but I honestly,
So at one point, while going through all this, Del Rio asks her, "Why am I here? Like, why are you bringing me?" And she says, "As a reminder," and kisses him. And he's all for it because it's Scarlett Johansson, but you
That's
can see on
right.
her face she's kissing this handsome man. Del Rio is a ruggedly attractive man, but you can just tell on her face there's nothing.
That's right. I
She
forgot
is
about that.
she is beyond affection, love, desire, passion, anything. She's beyond it. But her excuse for bringing this character along is she knows objectively that he is a handsome man that she probably in some form or fashion would have been even just visually attracted to in passing. And he is a reminder to her humanity that she no longer possesses.
I forgot about that. Yeah, because when she says that, I remember thinking, oh, it's a reminder for us, the audience, what you used to be.
Technically, it's a reminder for her, but
Yeah.
yeah, you're not wrong. And then they kiss, and there's nothing. For her,
Yeah.
there's nothing.
Nothing for anybody else either, except Del Rio.
I mean, I was pretty into it.
I didn't care one way or another for this character.
I wanted
for
to
Del
kiss
Rio.
Del Rio. I mean,
he's
Scarlett Johansson.
He's no, Arnold
Magi.
Vosloo or
Arnold Vosloo. He's so yes, but you get what I'm saying. Like Del Rio,
oh no, he's
got that
attractive.
rugged handsomeness.
He
Like
does. And he's French.
yeah, like a woman would see him and be like, "That is an objectively attractive guy." It's not like someone looking at us, right?
No, absolutely.
I get kissed by women who do feel love and passion, and they just feel nothing, nothing.
At least you're getting kissed.
You know how often I like open my eyes from a kiss and they're just staring at me like No, I regret this daily. Anywho, they make it to the university where they meet up with Morgan Freeman and a team of colleagues. And she then begins exposition dumping what she is experiencing.
Okay. We talk about this all the time.
Oh no. We talk about a lot of things all the time.
The unnecessary exposition dump. The show don't tell aspect of what makes a good movie a good movie.
Right.
Is this movie the most exposition dumps we've ever had in an entire movie?
I think so. If not, for sure, it's real damn close.
This, every time anybody opens their mouth, it seems like it's just an exposition dump.
She goes on to explain how mathematics is a lie. Not that it's a lie, but humans believe that mathematics control the galaxy because that is something that we can understand, get our hands on, study, manipulate, work in our favor. And she's explaining how that's because humans are too simple and that their mathematical basis is really a basis of themselves being the center measurement of everything. When in reality, we all know the center measurement of everything is White Castle sliders.
Absolutely.
But she explains how the real measurement is time. Then we get a few, PhD examples of how time is the measurement of all things. Blah, blah, blah. She eventually turns into a goo monster at some point.
Yeah, she takes like 4 more doses of that shit, and I wrote in my notes, and she turns into Venom?
Basically. Jesus. Then the Koreans show up and there's a huge shootout in a hallway between them and the police while she ends up she's fucking time traveling at one point.
Yeah, because then she like wave her hand and it goes forward and backwards.
Almost like scrolling through a buffered video.
Yeah.
And she's rewinding and fast forwarding, but she ends up time traveling. But her time travel doesn't make any fucking sense. Because she goes back in time to like 1900s New York. So I'm like, okay, sure. Even though I thought they were in Paris. But she's in 1900s Times Square. Did you catch that?
So are you thinking that the time traveling that she does is more,
it's space and time
of the time traveling where the machine doesn't move through time moves around the machine? Does that make sense?
I'm with you.
Like she can't just move anywhere she wants,
right? But her consciousness can.
Yeah.
But why? But that still doesn't answer why New York. Why would she not go back to turn of the century Paris?
I'd have no idea. Why was she sitting in a chair in a creek staring at that ugly ass monkey?
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. She's in Paris, right? I'm not wrong.
No.
Because Morgan Freeman is in Paris.
Yeah.
They're in Paris. She time travels back to turn of the century New York for some reason. Then time travels farther to pre-European colonization of the area and sees Native Americans. Then time travels farther to Ape Man, the ape lady from the beginning, except that part of New York would be fucking water. They are cherry picking visuals that they think would be cool, centered in a location that not only our character is not in, to our audience knowledge, has no connection to, but then they fuck up the rewind. That ape woman would be in fucking Africa. Because humanity has not evolved enough to branch out across the world. So when she went from Paris to New York to
Wyoming,
somewhere in North America, Native American times, pre-European colonies, to
Well, there was a dinosaur at one point because I remember
that's
seeing
right.
the
Because then she ends up in what would have to be Africa.
I remember seeing the dinosaur thinking, God, that looks derpy.
To the world's worst velociraptor thing you've ever seen in your life. I haven't seen dinosaurs look that bad since I watched that Adam Driver movie, 1,000,008, was it
65?
65? 65.
Yeah.
That movie sucks and the dinosaurs are awful. If you didn't, and here's the thing, they're not even real dinosaurs. They just like made up prehistoric-esque alien it sucks. That movie sucks. But I'm not talking about that shitty movie. I'm talking about this shitty movie. So either
It reminded me of Land of the Lost, the old TV show.
yeah, but that had coherent plot.
No, the dinosaur.
Oh, yeah.
Like the claymation looking thing.
So now, but if we're to believe that she's still in New York, that ape lady is not fucking there. But if she's now in prehistoric times, that area is fucking water.
Yeah. But she's in a rolly chair.
Ah, so she's rolling across fucking Pangea.
Yes. God, how hard does this
I
to
haven't
comprehend?
I've been doing so good about cutting back my swearing, and then we watch Lucy, and I've thrown it all away.
Good job with that New Year's resolution.
Fuck. She's about to die. She turns into a fucking blob and absorbs all the computers. Then she like hoops out a USB.
That was so stupid.
That looked awful because it was like a black square filled with stars and then the metal USB plug-in. So like Morgan Freeman was holding the key to the universe in his hands, right?
I wish this movie would have been a little older to where it had to spit out like a disc.
Not a CD disc, a floppy disc.
Floppy disc.
Here's your intergalactic floppy.
Like floppy disk.
Kind of regret saying intergalactic floppy, by the way, but it's too late. It's out there. New t-shirt idea. Intergalactic floppy.
This movie's so stupid.
Then she just disintegrates. And Del Rio comes in after surviving an RPG explosion. There's a fucking RPG.
Oh, I forgot about that.
God damn it.
Why?
So then he's like, where'd she go? And then it's like phone rings. His flip phone rings. It's all glitched out. And then a text comes in that says, I am everywhere. Because she basically becomes God. But this whole movie's like she's going to die. But she takes all the drugs to ramp up. She takes all the drugs to prevent her death. So instead of dying, she ascends. Right?
Sure.
But depending on how you look at it, she's fucking dead.
Oh, yeah.
And then...
Yeah, the Lucy we knew at the beginning is dead. And she's basically a computer.
Okay. So throughout the movie, we are hit with this line. Life started roughly 1 billion years ago. And we've never known what to do with it. And then the movie ends with life was given 1 billion years ago. And now we know what to do with it. Do we? What are you talking about? You can't just make a statement that all of a sudden watching your shitty movie, Luc Besson, you piece of filth, that all of a sudden we know what to do with life, you pretentious fuck. No. Yeah, actually, I do know what to do with my life. Turn your movie off and never go back. What are you talking about? All you talked about was how cells need to become immortal or reproduce. Well, last I checked, you fucking Nimrod, we've not yet achieved immortality, so I guess we need to just go out and fuck. We need to just fuck everyone and everything and reproduce however we can. like he's dropping some philosophical bombshell. You absolute tool. The only thing worse than someone spouting pseudo philosophy at me is someone who's not intelligent enough to understand what they're talking about, spouting it at me. I don't know what you're talking about, but I know that you don't know what you're talking about, you idiot. One of us in this conversation has the intelligence to reason out and fathom this grander discussion, and it isn't you. Holy shit. Right? Then, you know what's worse about being spoon-fed a bunch of pseudo-philosophy from a film student? Being spoon-fed a bunch of pseudo-philosophy from a film student flunky. Because it doesn't make any sense and your movie sucks.
Are we have final thoughts?
Almost. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Am I wrong?
You're not wrong.
I'm not wrong.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Okay. I'm going to let you talk for a minute. But he does this thing. No. It's fine. I'm fine. It's fine.
So are we on reviews?
You want to go to reviews?
Where are we at?
You want to do ratings? IMDb 6.4.
Too high.
Rotten Tomatoes 67%.
Too high.
For an overall of 131.
Too high.
These are too high. This movie is a 4. It's a 4 because it's not smart enough to talk about what it's trying to talk about.
What's it trying to talk about?
We're going to get there.
Okay.
Reviews. Ebert.com. Lucy is a fun, wrong. Confident work, wrong. It's fast and tight and playful, wrong, wrong, and wrong.
Playful?
Playful. Even when it's sadistic and violent. Those are also wrong. This movie isn't sadistic and violent. 3 stars.
Who did this?
Ebert.com.
Jesus Christ.
Lucy is a fun, confident work. It's fast and tight and playful, even when it's sadistic and violent. 3 stars. Eat my ass. Whole thing in your mouth. Nom, 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 nom. I have never read a review more wrong in my fucking life. 3 stars.
Anaconda got us the half a star more.
Anaconda is laughably better than Lucy.
Oh, 100%.
The Guardian. Even with only 10% of my brain, I can see that while this movie isn't good, or while this movie isn't what I'd typically call good, it is undeniably enjoyable mindlessness. 3 out of 5 stars. You're wrong, Guardian. You're not as wrong as Ebert.com, but you're fucking wrong. This movie is not enjoyable mindlessness. If anything, some moron was trying really, really hard to convey a higher thinking concept that they're not capable of having a conversation about, let alone writing a movie on.
Do you want to go first?
No, I think you should go first. I'm going to be a minute.
Okay. I'll be quick.
No, take your time. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I'm fine. This is fine. Your final thoughts are fine. These reviews are shit, but it's fine. Fine. I'm fine.
2014 Lucy.
It's fine.
You know, I wish I only watched 10% of this movie. Okay. I went into this knowing absolutely nothing about the movie. And then it questioned my intelligence right away, pissed me off, but then kind of hooked me again. And I kind of got interested in the concept. I think that's a cool idea with the drug mule, the bags bursting, giving her powers. I was looking forward to what this movie could be. And then I finished watching the movie. This movie sucks. The plot of this movie is about as thin as my patience was getting.
That's thin.
Like the action scenes were meh. Like the fight scenes with her in the hallway with the guys that she levitates.
No, fuck that scene. Fuck this move. That was not a fight scene.
Like, what is this?
That was nothing.
What are we doing? I thought Scarlett Johansson was good up until the point where she just became the Terminator, and then I lost all interest in her because I'm like, you can't be hurt.
No,
You are beyond an invincible character, and I'm done. I'm dull. You're dull. I'm done with it.
even Jesus could be nailed to a cross and killed.
You're not wrong. I liked the visuals. The movie looks good. It's shot well as far as the cinematography and the CGI with all the weird vortex sperm looking things. I don't know, but
Oh, I forgot about
yeah,
that.
very trippy visuals. It felt very drug induced almost. Morgan Freeman was completely wasted in this movie. I couldn't even tell you his name without looking it up. Um, the villain was interesting at first, but he became nothing. He became less than nothing. When I was putting together my final thoughts, I typed out this movie felt like it was supposed to be a mix of John Wick with Inception and Interstellar. And then as I was researching this, I found this quote where Bassan stated that he intended for the first part of this movie to be like Leon the Professional, the second part to be like Inception, and the third part to be like 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Well, there's a red flag right there. Because 2001 sucks.
That is too much. You're trying to do too much, and it doesn't work
Oh my god.
at all. The ending, what a wet fart of an ending. This is WrestleMania 9 ending.
Wait, which one was 9?
Yokozuna beating Bret Hart for the title, and then Hogan coming out
yeah,
and beating Yoko
with his huge black eye.
Yeah, beating Yokozuna in like 30 seconds and winning the title. What a dog shit ending. What a dog shit movie. This movie is not at all worth the ticket price. And that sucks because the concept of it, I think, could have been interesting. But you're not wrong. He tries to make us feel like he's smarter than everybody in the room. And I don't know anything about anything. I don't know about astral projection, multi-plane dimension, string theory bullshit. And I know he doesn't either. So,
see, this movie questions our intelligence while then revealing it has none of its own.
absolutely. I This is probably the first movie I've ever watched that within the first 10 minutes, I'm pissed at the movie. I'm pissed at the director. And if it wasn't for the show, I wouldn't have finished past the first 10 minutes.
No.
Once those animals were projected on there trying to show what we're supposed to.
Humping?
No,
Oh.
the ones where it's like, oh, look, these people represent the cheetah because they are hunting her.
Yeah.
And this guy, he's falling into a trap. See, there's this mouse walking up to a piece of cheese, and the cheese is in a trap.
Oh.
We know you as an audience are too stupid to understand it, so I want to show you. No, don't show me that bullshit. Asshole. Anyway, I will let you have the floor, sir.
Attention passengers. The fasten seatbelt sign has been turned on.
Ding.
We will be experiencing some turbulence. Please remain seated. Okay, let's get it out of the way. Lucy, 2014. Is it worth the ticket price? Absolutely not. This movie blows hard. Sucks and blows and vacuum noises. It's so bad. It's so awful. Okay? Now, that's out of the way. We know the answer. Let's dive into it. I want to touch on your part of it a little bit. Just a little bit, Tevis. Let's just get a little bit into it. So feel free to dialogue with me. Don't widen your eyes in terror. We're talking now. If this movie wanted to be an action movie, it should have just fucking been an action movie. But it's not. Instead, yes, as he typed out for me to remind me, this movie made $400 million. Hey, everyone can be suckered once. You sucker enough people, you'll hit $400 million. Ask P.T. Barnum. This movie isn't an action movie. It thought about it and then gave up on that roughly 25 minutes in, if that, where the fight scenes devolve into these aren't fight scenes. I'm reluctant to call them action sequences. There is a car chase without the chase.
Yeah, what's up with that?
If anything, this was just a beware woman driver. I despised, I loathed all of its attempts at maintaining this action facade. If you're going to be mindless action, be mindless action. That's fine. If you wanted her to be a drug mule against her will, that then gets superpowers, then goes on a vendetta spree, cool. Do that. This movie didn't want to be that. Or if they did, they failed so miraculously, I can't even identify their want of that kind of film. And if I'm being honest, I didn't want that. I didn't want an action movie. You had talked about cool premise, and I agree, it would have been. But let's get a little deeper. Let's get into what they tried. It failed so spectacularly at, I think it reduced my life expectancy. This movie is obviously inspired by the general Flowers for Algernon concept. I can't unsee it, and I cannot be dissuaded from that idea or theory. This movie, and if they don't know, if Luc Besson doesn't know what Flowers from Algernon is, he doesn't know what I'm fucking talking about. Well, congratulations, you ripped off something much better than your own work without realizing it. Congratulations, you dumbass. But there's no way he doesn't know. It's so blatant. Honestly, what this movie should have done is she's the drug mule, she gets her powers. She then kills everyone, takes out all the gangsters without remorse, like she did when she shot the taxi driver, like she did when she killed the terminal surgery patient. She should have just mindlessly killed all of them and everyone in her way. And that's when the action sequence stops. Because they wouldn't have been action sequences. It would have been more akin to a murder sequence a la, say, Seven. It would have been brutal psychological thriller at that point. Because what this movie tried to do, but not really, but kind of sort of, but not enough, but then it's sometimes too much, and too much in the wrong ways. This movie should have explored what was happening to Lucy as she reached more and more areas of her cerebrum. Lucy died in this movie, but she died, or would have died, long before she disintegrated and became God, right? Let's dive into what the powers did for her as her mind unlocked. Well, first, she moved beyond pain. Pain was no longer a stimuli for her brain. She was beyond it. She was immune to it. Okay. We can do surgery without anesthesia, blah, blah, blah. Then she is unable to feel friendship. She can remember friendship, but she does not feel friendship. She does her friend, air quote friend, a favor when we last see her. But you can see in the look in Scarlett Johansson's eyes, there's no connection there anymore. She keeps Del Rio around as a reminder and kisses him. That sparks nothing because she no longer feels pain, fear, friendship, love, passion. She's beyond feelings. That's such a Neanderthal, primitive concept that she's so far beyond. At that moment, Lucy died because she's no longer human. Her brain advanced itself thanks to the drugs to the point the human of Lucy died. And now she is continuing to develop this ascended state where she's so far, she doesn't care if she shoots the terminal patient or kills those people or wounds the taxi driver. Del Rio even says while she's driving, you're going to get us killed. She, without a care in the world, nothing really dies. She has ascended beyond the fear and the whole concept of death because matter cannot be created or destroyed. It just takes on different forms. That's what she sees the world as, forms of matter. Del Rio dies. Well, he's not really dead because his body will decompose. It will become energy for the scavengers. It will return to the soil. It will return as plant life. It will be the oxygen living creatures breathe. So he's not dead. He's all around us. He's always with us. Because she's no longer fucking human and can't understand that the human life that was Del Rio no longer exists because she cannot see individual living entities. They're all parts of the grand machine that is life, and as this movie tries to explain to us, as time. So, Tevis, you and I, we're cogs in a machine. When we die, we're still fulfilling that role as a cog, just in different form. So she can't even understand any longer, because she's so far beyond it, the idea of death and loss. She's not an individual anymore. She's become part of the cosmic whole. Her mind advanced to the point that it was able to receive pure energy from existence and interpret it, understand it, and then like like a circuit, refuel, refeed back into that. She's not human. She's something else. That is what this movie should have been going into. How, from Del Rio's perspective, from Morgan Freeman's perspective, from our audience perspective, she is a monster. She can control anything, other people, herself, machines, because it's all just energy and matter that she has obtained control over. She does not have feelings because feelings are primitive that she's beyond. So we can't comprehend her, and she can no longer comprehend us. And I say that because we go outside, Tevis, and we see ants gathering food, working on their ant hill. And I point out one ant carrying a grain of seed. And I ask you to tell me what that ant is feeling. Can you do that?
No.
We are that ant to her. That ant can't explain us. We cannot explain it. The gap between her and humanity is so vast, there's a complete disconnect. If she steps on us on her path, whatever, we're ants. To us, it's Armageddon. She kicks over the anthill. It is world-ending Armageddon to us. To her, as now a cosmic consciousness, whatever, Earth could be wiped out. Well, that just means some of it's here and some of it's there, and its energy goes here. And time keeps moving. Life keeps moving. The universe keeps moving. And it will remanifest itself in other ways using this bullshit at some point. This is what the movie is trying to talk about. And that's actually a really interesting concept that I would love to talk about. Luc Besson cannot have this conversation, apparently, despite his best attempts to have it. Judging by your silence, Tevis, you don't want to have this conversation.
The movie doesn't do a good job of anything. Like I said, it's trying to be too much. If it would have focused on that aspect of it, it would have been more interesting, I think.
Yeah.
But it sets you up for this professional or John Wick style of a film, and then it pivots to something else, but then it pivots again to something else. You lose your audience at a point.
Yeah, because we all went, this sucks, and we got up and went to a different theater.
Yeah. But I like what you're talking about her. We're ants to her.
Yeah.
And I think it would have been a lot more interesting if she would have been the main bad.
Become it. Yes.
Become it. But no, we're still supposed to cheer for her, root for her. Are we?
Are we though?
I'm confused because I liked her at the beginning, but I don't think it's because of the character. I think it's because of Scarlett Johansson, her performance. But then as she's going through all this shit and transforming, I'm indifferent.
Yeah.
With her. I think if, like, when she walks into that operating room,
mm-hmm.
I almost think she just should have killed that person, not even looked at the screen, and just not even have told them, well, you couldn't have saved them because they had this.
Yeah.
Just blam.
Don't try to justify it.
Operate on me, and then slowly build her up into the big bad.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I don't know, maybe give fucking Morgan Freeman something to do
other than read exposition.
Yes. Like, maybe make him the one who tries to team up with the cop to stop her. I don't know. I'm spitballing here.
Okay, going
But-
off your spitball, I see 3 roads. And if you focus on one of them, you'll have a better movie. Option A, this is an action movie. She gets superpowers from the drugs she was muling and goes on a revenge spree. That is a cool, interesting concept, and we'll have a good action movie. Let's do that. Option B, we go full emotional roller coaster where Lucy knows she's dying and she keeps using the word dying, and we're getting emotional moments that are no longer emotional to her. We're watching her unplug and she's realizing she's unplugging and is trying to make the most of the time she has left, more akin to a Flowers for Algernon kind of story, where then at the end she disappears. Not this huge bombastic fucking goo monster, but she almost like a Yoda. She's dying.
Yeah.
And her loved ones are around her, and then she's just gone. And then at the end, maybe she tells them that maybe that's when she drops the line. I know you won't understand this because you can't. But I know now there's no such thing as death. So don't mourn. 'Cause I'm still here just like I always was. Poof. And now we have an emotional, not thriller, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Almost like a Sophie's Choice. Those kind of this movie, bring your Kleenex. It's an emotional roller coaster movie. Cool, do that. Because the foundation is here. A woman, or anyone, but in Lucy's case, a woman who against her will begins advancing at a rate that she realizes the outcome, tries to change it, can't. And then we slowly see her lose all of her humanity, all of her identity, her sense of self. That's tragic. Or option C, you go full Lovecraftian cosmic fucking horror where she ascends to this level of monster, of godhood that we can't fathom, and begins treating the world like an anthill and everyone in it like ants. And the ants try to fight back.
Give me one of those 3.
Pick one. I don't care which. It will be a better film than what this was.
Yeah.
And if you want a movie to dive into this science, this philosophy, this whatever you want to call it, the writer themselves have to understand what they're trying to fucking talk about. That's important. Because if they don't actually know, they can't convey it. Then figure out how you want to talk about it, and then talk about it through Lucy's experiences. Does she just go full kick-ass action? Does she go full heartbreak? Or does she go full inconceivable monster? And we watch that evolve and happen. Cool. Let's do that.
I'm all for that. I'm all for anything other than what we got.
I like Interstellar. I like Inception. I like the concept of what Lucy is. I like the scientific and philosophical questions that Lucy is attempting to bring to light. These are fun conversations, in my opinion. Lucy just can't fucking have them. It's like, well, this movie's just, man, what happened? I didn't get lost. I didn't get lost in the concept. I got lost by the ineptitude in which it was presented. Those are different things. Your audience didn't understand what you were talking about. They didn't understand how you were trying to talk about it. Those are different things.
I got lost in giving a shit.
10 minutes in.
Because like I said, there's so many times it changes direction, and I'm just like, I'm out, man. I'm no longer interested in what Mr. Bassan is trying to tell me.
This movie fucking sucks. Where's the hat? Look, I could sit here and talk about how much this irritates me, but we have other things to do today.
All right.
It's your
got
turn.
it. Okay, I got one.
Only thing worse than someone trying to talk down to you is when you realize they're below you.
Only way you could talk down to me is if I was laying on the floor.
I honestly, hold on. What, Luc Besson? That name will now officially prevent me from watching something. If I see that name associated with a project for any reason, I will not watch it.
Well, I've seen 4 of his movies now. And I want to say 50-50, but I'm not sure I really enjoyed Leon the Professional that much.
Mm-hmm.
I liked Fifth Element, but the other, no. Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. Okay, but we're moving on.
Moving on.
We're moving on to brighter pastures, greener pastures, smarter pastures,
Brighter pastures.
brighter writers,
God
brighter directors,
writer directors.
brighter,
Oh.
brighter directors.
Brighter writer directors.
Because we are doing a fun one this time.
That remains to be seen.
Yeah, because you haven't watched it yet.
Fuck you.
I mean, duh. We are doing an animated one.
Okay.
It's got Mr. T.
There's an animated movie with Mr. T?
Yeah. He plays a police officer.
Okay.
We're doing Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs.
Cloudy with a I've seen this movie once.
I've seen it a few times. It's so much fun. At least
based off the book, right? It's a kid's book.
Yep.
Okay.
Kid's book. So yeah, we're doing Cloudy with a Chance of, and who else is in it?
Isn't it Patton Oswalt?
No. Well, he might be.
I think he's the main guy, is he?
No,
not?
that's
someone who just sounds like Patton
damn
Oswalt.
it. I'm gonna have to look it up now because I can't remember.
He's looking it up. But he remembers.
Bill Hader. It's Bill Hader.
Ah.
Yeah. Bill Hader, Anna Faris, James Caan.
James Caan is in Chowdy. Is he the dad?
James Caan is the dad. Okay. Neil Patrick Harris plays Steve. I know exactly who
The
Steve.
monkey?
Yes.
Man, I'm just, my mind is being blown right now.
Yeah. Bruce Campbell is in it.
Somehow that doesn't surprise me.
Okay. Yeah, Mr. T is Earl Devereaux.
His chest hair. The biker shorts.
Yeah, this is gonna be fun.
You know what? What a nice palate cleanser from Lucy.
Oh, anything would be a better movie than.
Yeah, but this is just such a stark contrast that we can just be done with it.
Okay, I'll see that.
Okay. We'll see. I really don't remember anything about this movie. I know I have seen it, but
Yeah, it's been a hot minute since I watched it.
all right then.
I'm looking forward to it. Anything. I'd rather watch Tom Cruise, The Mummy, than Lucy.
I would rather have my hands knifed to a chair. Okay, everyone.
Breathe.
Where's my blood pressure medication?
Breathe.
Did I bring it or did I forget?
Breathe.
Remember that scene in Scanners when that dude's head blew up? Thank you all so much for listening. I'm Jake. That's Tevis. We are Ticket Price. This has been 2014's Lucy.
We picked a terrible one.
Tune in.
Made $400 million. Highest fucking grossing piece of shit.
Tune in next week as we will have a brighter disposition, hopefully, as we check out Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. Lucy, not worth the ticket price. Be sure to follow the show. I'm just so mentally drained. I can't even do the outro. Turn on the bell for notifications so you don't miss this episode or anything like it. Let us know if you got bingo. Check out the merch store. Love you guys. Please don't watch Lucy. Please don't. Don't. And as always, be good to yourselves, be good to each other, and good night.
$458,863,600.